This sounds completely fake, but the country that invented football, with the richest league on the entire planet, hasn't won a single major trophy in 60 years. 60! And the reason why isn't tactics, it isn't talent, it's something far stranger and far darker. But right now, in 2026, that 60-year curse is closer to breaking than it has been in a lifetime, and there's a German trying to end it.
To understand the curse, you have to go back to the one and only time it all went right. 1966, Wembley. England versus West Germany in the World Cup final on home soil. A young striker named Geoff Hurst does something no one has done before or since. He scores a hat trick in a World Cup final, 3 goals. And one of them is still argued about today. A thunderous shot that smashes off the crossbar, bounces down on the line, and was given as a goal nobody could actually prove had crossed it. The ghost goal. England win 4-2. Bobby Moore lifts the trophy. A nation loses its mind. And a song is basically born from that day. The belief that football belongs to England, that one day it will always come home.
But here's what nobody realized in that moment of pure joy. That wasn't the start of a dynasty, it was the peak. The single highest point England would reach for the next 60 years. Everything after this, every tournament, every golden squad, would be measured against one afternoon in 1966, and they would all fall short. There's a specific way England break their fans' hearts. Penalties. For decades, the England national team became the most reliable choke artists in world sport, and always from 12 yards. 1990, the World Cup semifinal, out on penalties to West Germany. 1996, a home Euros semifinal, out on penalties to Germany again. And the man who missed the decisive kick? Remember his name, because he comes back later. 1998, 2006, 2012, the same nightmare, over and over. England and penalties became a national joke, a trauma passed down like an inheritance. And the cruelest part? It wasn't for lack of talent. In the 2000s, England had what the press called the golden generation. Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, Rooney, Ferdinand, Terry. On paper, one of the best squads on the planet. Players worth hundreds of millions, superstars in the biggest league in the world. And in tournament after tournament, they didn't just fail to win. They never even reached a final. Not one. The most gifted group of English footballers ever assembled. And their ceiling was a quarter-final. At first glance, world-class talent and total failure seem completely unrelated. But behind the scenes, they're linked by one terrifying fact. The more England were expected to win, the heavier that shirt became, until the weight of a nation's hope was the very thing dragging them under. Then came the twist nobody scripted. The manager who would finally drag England out of the dark was the exact same man who missed that decisive penalty in '96, Gareth Southgate. The symbol of England's heartbreak became the man trying to end it. And for a while, it looked like destiny. 2018. Southgate's young, likable England reach a World Cup semifinal and actually win a penalty shootout. The curse cracking. The whole country believed again. It was finally coming home.
Then came the finals. 2021, the Euro final at Wembley, in front of their own fans, 90 minutes from ending 55 years of hurt. And it goes to penalties. Of course it does. England lose to Italy. 3 young players step up and miss. 2024, the very next Euros, another final. And this time, Spain simply beat them, 2-1. 2 major finals in 3 years. 2 losses. So close you could touch it. And each time, the trophy slipped through their fingers at the last possible second. This brings us to the most controversial part of this entire story. The part most highlight reels refuse to show you. When those 3 young players missed their penalties in the 2021 final, they weren't just consoled. They were abused, flooded with vile, racist hate online, simply for being brave enough to step up when grown men wouldn't. It exposed something ugly sitting underneath England's love for its team. A fan culture that can turn on its own heroes in seconds. The same "It's Coming Home" anthem that unites the country can curdle into entitlement and cruelty the moment it doesn't. And there's the hubris itself. To the rest of the world, England's confidence looks like arrogance. A nation that gave football to the planet and now demands it back, endlessly singing about a trophy they've won exactly once. It's why half the planet actively enjoys watching them lose. Then came the decision that split the country in two. After Southgate walked away, the Football Association made a stunning call. To lead England, the country of 1966, they hired their first foreign manager in over a decade. And not just any foreigner, a German, Thomas Tuchel. The old enemy handed the keys to England's dream. Some called it bold. Some called it a betrayal of everything the shirt stood for. Once you cross a milestone like that, everything changes. So here is exactly what's happening right now. Because in 2026, the whole story comes to a head.
It's 2026, and the symbolism is almost too perfect. This World Cup lands exactly 60 years after 1966. 60 years of hurt on the line. And Tuchel's England arrived as one of the favorites to win the whole thing. So far, it's been a roller coaster, which is the most England thing imaginable. They opened by dismantling Croatia 4-2. Then, for the fourth tournament in a row, they drew their second game, a flat 0-0 with Ghana that had the doubters sharpening their knives. They shook it off, beat Panama, and Harry Kane did something historic on the way. He broke England's all-time World Cup goal-scoring record, the captain rewriting the history books. In the knockouts, the drama cranked up. A serious scare against DR Congo in the round of 32, rescued by another Kane double. Then the round of 16, England versus Mexico in the Estadio Azteca, one of the most intimidating grounds on earth. And England went down to 10 men after a red card. Backs against the wall, a man short, in a hostile stadium, the exact situation that has broken every England team before them. And this time, they didn't fold. They won 3-2 in an absolute instant classic. Jude Bellingham called it one of the best nights of his England career. For once, England took the punch and threw a harder one back.
Which brings us to right now. England are into the quarterfinals, and standing in their way is Erling Haaland's Norway. Get past them, and Lionel Messi's Argentina could be waiting in the semi. Kane is chasing the golden boot. Bellingham is playing like a man possessed. And 60 years of pain is sitting there, closer to over than it's been since Bobby Moore lifted that trophy. But if you think that's the whole story, the final piece of this puzzle changes everything.
Here's the truth about England in 2026. Everything that has ever haunted them is stacked into this one tournament. The 60-year wait, the penalty ghosts waiting in every knockout tie, a German on the touchline, of all people, trying to give England back its identity, and a captain in Harry Kane who has broken every scoring record there is, except the one that matters, a trophy. They are good enough. They have been good enough before. That was never the problem. The problem was always the moment the pressure arrived, and whether this England, unlike every version before it, can finally hold its nerve when 60 years of hope is screaming in its ears. For the first time in a long time, it genuinely feels like they might. But England have made us believe before, and they have broken that belief every single time. So the only question left is whether 2026 is the year the longest wait in football finally ends, or just the next chapter in the most beautiful heartbreak in sport. So I need to know, England or the field? Are Tuchel's side finally ending 60 years of hurt in 2026? Or does the curse hold one more time? Drop home or hurt in the comments and tell me where you stand.